Hi guys, and welcome back to class. Today, I want you guys to ask yourself, what are the most significant moments and ideas about the war's effect on humanity in this chapter? We're going to be in chapter 10. Our focusing question is, how do texts inspired by World War I illuminate attitudes towards the war? And our content framing question in our notes stage says, how does a film adaptation build my knowledge? Our craft question and our execute stage says, how do I write a concluding statement that explains the significance of my analysis? Our focusing question task is what we're going to be doing today. You're going to need handouts 21A and 25A in order to complete your focusing question task. Your focusing question task says you're writing for an audience that has studied the novel and the film as closely as you have. You're going to compose a 3-paragraph informative essay that explains how film scene Forgive Me, Comrade conveys the film's attitude about war effects on humanity. Then you're going to evaluate this depiction in relationship to the attitude about war's effects on humanity conveyed in the same scene from the novel. In your first paragraph, you want to explain the most significant choices that the filmmaker and actors made in the scene. So what type of, did they do a close-up? Did they do, what type of shots did they take? What did the actors do? What were the actions of the actors? And what did those choices reveal about the film's attitude towards the war? In the second paragraph, you're going to evaluate how the film's choice differs from the novel. So the film may have done one thing and the novel may have done other things through its words. And then finally, you're going to write a concluding statement that indicates a larger significance of your analysis or answers the so what question. Make sure you use handouts 23A and 27A to formulate your response. Use your book and Forgive Me, Comrade excerpt for film. And make sure that you've done all these things in your checklist to make sure that you are successful. Reread silently pages 223 through 225 before you complete your focusing question task. At the end of your focusing question task, you're going to answer these questions in your journal. How did studying in Flanders Field and Douce et Decorum S and soldiers playing cards build your knowledge of the war and its effects? What did you learn by studying texts from various forms? How did the study of one or more texts build your knowledge? And how did your work in this focusing question sequence build your skilled knowledge? To end our lesson, how does a film adaptation build my knowledge of the novel? So for example, studying the film adaptation expanded or changed or challenged or reinforced my knowledge, or studying the film adaptation expanded, changed, challenged, reinforced my knowledge of the genre of film. These are 2 sentence stems that you can use to answer the content framing question. As a reminder, writers should always avoid using passive voice. Passive voice has a purpose in writing. Passive voice can emphasize the action and object that received the action, and it can express action from an unknown actor, and it can be helpful when you make a vagueness about an actor or a subject, like Paul and the French soldiers. Passive is most often used in scientific fields for lab reports, and since the subject is assumed to be the author, your science teacher might ask you to use it in lab reports. So here, in this paragraph, I want you to see where are the shifts in verb moods. Are there any of these sentences that would be better off if they were passive? If so, which one and why? That's going to be it for today's lesson. If you guys have any questions or need any help, please come to office hours. Remember that your focusing question tasks are always counted very heavily. So take your time and look at the items for success so that you can be successful on this assignment.